Hi, welcome back. I'm Lorenzo, and today I wanted to talk about my experience thrifting in Paris. I definitely went with the mind to thrift in Paris and also maybe see some vintage shops. So I did a little bit of research before I went. I found a couple of common thrift stores, one of which is called Flea, probably saying that really weird, and the other one is Kilo Shop. So I knew I wanted to hit up those. And then there's an Instagram account that I follow called Kissa Vintage Paris. And she posts where flea markets are going to be every weekend. So I just screenshotted what she posted for the Saturday that I was going to be there. Went to the one that was close by to my hostel and had a little bit of a scavenge. I would highly recommend going to the flea markets just because it's open air, so everything's fresh. Everyone was really nice. You definitely want to have euros on you if you're interested in buying anything, but they had a lot of jewelry and jackets. They had anything you wanted. So there's paintings, little household things. It was just really nice and enjoyable. The one that I went to was in the 4th arrondissement. I'm butchering all of these French words. And it started at 8 a.m. I think we arrived around 8:30 or 9 and people were still setting up. So if you want the whole thing to be set up, I'd probably recommend going at 9 or later. They had tons of vintage, but also some just like newer high street things that were just for sale, like any thrift store. I think I saw a bunch of H&M and that kind of item, but then there was also some really nice vintage pieces. Tons of leather jackets, tons of suede, also a lot of men's clothes, and some are priced per item, so you could see a little tag, or you would just ask how much it is. Look that up in French before you go. But then there were other stalls that had just rails that were for 5 euros or 2 euros or something like that, which was really nice if you're just looking for some basics. My friend picked up a just men's button-up shirt. It was just like a really nice quality for only 2 euro. And then I had other friends that picked up some sterling silver jewelry pieces and just, you know, some like pins or little knickknacks. I really loved this kind of apricot beaded bag. Unfortunately, my phone didn't fit inside of it, so I just couldn't see myself really using it that often. It was absolutely gorgeous though, and they had tons of little coin purses and like vintage little purses like that. So if you're looking for that, definitely just stop at the flea market. They're gonna be way cheaper, and I feel like you're gonna have a better variety to pick from. They also had tons of postcards and paintings and things like that, which I thought was really fun and interesting. It makes great souvenirs for people if you're looking for things like that. I personally didn't find anything at the flea market. There were things that I really liked, but I'm pretty picky with what I buy nowadays, so if I couldn't see myself really using it often, I didn't pick it up. Next, we went to some thrift stores, which were pretty nice. We did stop at one vintage store first. I'll try to find the name of it so you guys can find that if you'd like. All the stores we were going to were in the Marais area, so that's a little bit east of the Louvre. Almost all of the thrift stores have a downstairs, so don't be afraid to go look down there. Usually they have like bins that you can sort through that are all just €1, so you can find some good treasures in there if you look hard. I will say that a lot of the thrift stores were pretty dark, so just keep that in mind. They're also very tight. Lots of people are crammed in there trying to find things. Racks are not spread out, you know. Real estate is at a premium in Paris, so they also have a bit of a smell, I would say. I mean, with all of that used clothing in one small area, it's kind of hard not to. A lot of clothes had a smoky smell too, so I would smell everything before you buy it. I stumbled upon a pretty good, I would say, road to thrift on. If you get off at Metro Stop Châtelet, then you can go to kind of the first free P-Star store and then make your way east down Rue de la Verrier. Saying that probably wrong, but you can find it in Google Maps. I'll also show it here. And there are just a ton of free P-Star stores on that street, as well as Kilo shops and other vintage stores. It's like every block there's a store, so if you just keep walking down that road east, you're just gonna stumble upon more and more vintage shops. It's super pleasant. I didn't see a lot of cars driving down that street either, so it's just like a nice walk. So we hit up several of the free P-Star stores. I'm just gonna call it free P stores because it's a tongue twister. And they were more like a traditional thrift store in the sense that everything has its price marked. Sometimes there's bins where they're only €1, and then you'll just pick that up and say it's in a bin. There's a lot of vintage or older pieces in there. as well as some newer ones, but I would say for the most part, they tend to be more vintage items. Unlike American stores where I feel like you find a lot of newer clothes that are maybe were donated in the last like 5 years. And the kilo shops worked a little bit different. Everything was marked with a color tag and you would pay by weight. So if you bought a couple items with a yellow tag, they might be 20 euros per kilo. Green tag, different price, maybe 10 euros, something like that. So you want to keep in mind what color you're picking up, because something like a leather jacket might be, oh, that's 40 euro per kilo, and leather jackets are pretty heavy, so it can add up, so keep track of that. There are some items that are priced per item. For example, I feel like all the scarves, which I did get one scarf, were marked at 13 euros, which I thought was a pretty decent price, especially because a lot of them are large like this one, and a lot of them were silk. So definitely another good souvenir or gift for people, I would say, is buying a silk scarf from either a kilo shop or Free Pea stores. There were definitely a ton of options, all different colors, and they looked really nice. There were also a couple of just one-off vintage shops down this road too, so definitely hit those up. And just be prepared for a long walk and maybe bring a tote bag to carry all your goodies. I didn't end up getting a lot of items. I just ended up getting the scarf. My friend got a blazer, and then my other friend got some like brand new Levi jeans, which I was very surprised to see. So there's definitely gems in there. Some of them take more time to look through. The Free Pea store was not organized super well. I would say there was like jackets in one place, and then you could also find jackets in another place. So like you really had to look through everything if you're looking for something in particular. Whereas the kilo shop was organized very well. All the jackets were kind of in the same area, types of jackets, also separated by gender, and everything was labeled very clearly. So if you're looking for something more organized, I would suggest going to a kilo shop. I did see a dressing room in some of the Free Pea stores. I don't know if the kilo shop had a dressing room. You might want to wear clothes that you can easily put other clothes over, such as like leggings or a dress, something like that. And there are these stores like all over Paris, also other vintage stores, so you don't have to only go to this area. That was just where I decided to shop because that's close to where I was staying. Also, it just seemed like a really convenient walk to just walk through like 10 different thrift stores all in one road. If there's a place you really want to go, don't be afraid to metro there. The metro is so easy if you've never experienced it. I highly suggest using metro. And I think that's about all I have to say about that thrifting experience. It's definitely different than thrifting in the US. There's a lot more items cramped, and I would say overall the items are more vintage than they are like brand new. Don't be afraid to go thrifting or to go to flea markets. Everyone there, like working at the stores and at the flea market stands, were very nice. Just make sure you look up a couple of French phrases that you can say so that you look like you're trying, and they will be a lot more willing to help you out. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I make videos every week about fashion, style, thrifting, so if you're into that, try sticking around. Let me know if you have any questions about Paris, places to stay, or things to do. I'm happy to share my limited advice in the comments below. I hope you all have a fabulous day, and I'll see you next week with another video. Tschüss!